What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Burndown YouTube channel. So we have two running projects, which is phenomenal. I mean, I feel great about it. We started the boom. We have oil pressure. I didn't really get the oil way up to temp. I mean, I ran it and I drove around the block a few times. I took my son for a ride for the first time. He was really excited about this thing, although he can't see, so I think he needs a bit of a booster. But what we're going to do today is I'm going to change the oil in this right away, because I actually strained the oil that I had in it previously just to fire it up, and then we're going to dump it all out. We'll change the filter. We'll get a good AC Delco, lesson learned. So AC Delco filter, we'll put some 1040 in it is what I'm going to run, because Vegas is usually pretty hot. And then I'd like to get that changed out, so we put that over here on jack stands. And then maybe later I can cruise it around and kind of, get it warm and actually get some seat time in it. But for majority of the day, we are going to switch gears onto this guy. And we have some ugly to take out of this. So the plan for it is we need to obviously paint this. This is bare metal. It's rusting. I got that cut down so the gap is better. So, and then I made these caps as well. If you're not familiar, I actually cut this out. And this is a custom tubular grill that my father-in-law's buddy actually built. He came out and kind of measured and built it, and then I had to fit it and actually install it, which is much harder, I think, than building it, because you could just measure it up and lay this out and tack it all together. Then I had to make the stupid thing fit and work. It was kind of a pain, but it looks awesome. And then I capped these off, so these are all rusted, so we'll have to prep this. We're gonna paint these white. This will be white body color kind of to match. The bumpers, I'm gonna reshoot the bumpers. I think I have some single stage white on the shelf somewhere. And then for the sides, this W, that's this green purple. I think originally it was green, and then somebody sprayed it like a blue or a purple, whatever this faded to, on both the top and bottom. Everything this color or green is going to be a candy gold. So this whole bottom row, this whole guy will be gold. I've already got the material, pretty excited to shoot that. And then what I'd like to do is we're going to change this up. This is the name of the original coach. It was an Indian build. They had like the Indian, the Brave, and the Chieftain. We're going to change this to say Twinnebago, but in the similar style. And I've already designed that, so we'll integrate that. So this will all be gold, and then it'll say Twinnebago. And then this will be gold. I think this, we're just going to turn it white, because it's kind of hard to spray and the thing's kind of mucked up anyway. So we'll shoot this portion white, and then these bumpers, I don't know if this is house paint or what, but it's thick and it's hard to get off. So we're going to paint these white as well. I'm debating, we'll see what kind of time I have, but I would like to just reshoot this whole thing white, because it's all rubbed off and ugly, and then maybe put like a big T for like a Twinnebago, if we can get that far. And then this thing is kind of roached. I'm just going to beat it back into shape and put it on. We're not going to get crazy. Originally I was going to make a whole new one, but I think just kind of beating it up, putting it back on, and then again this will all be gold. We're going to take this off. I'm going to save it because it's ripped. I'd like to put a new one on, but for now it's dumb to have it on there if it's not doing anything, so we'll just put that kind of in the side yard. And then I've got new doors. I got two of these. They're different size, but we'll have to fit them, before we get froggy with the paint. So we'll cover that up. Insides of the wheels, just going to rattle can these black. I was debating doing it white, but I think my wife and I talked about it, and I think the black would be kind of cool, and it would give us some contrast, because you'd have the black, white, the chrome, and then this with blacks would make these stand out better, I think. So I think we're going to go with that. On front and rear, we'll paint the insides of these guys as well. And then if we can, maybe we'll get the wife out here to help me. Maybe we can put some more black in here and make those kind of pop, and around these windows that are kind of ugly. And then I don't even know if this door's original, but we'll bring the stripe across on there also. So yeah, that is the work that we're trying to accomplish. I only got a few weeks. And then up top, I'd really like to make that go away, and I may have to shoot just that section white, and then maybe we could do a Twinnebago or just leave it blank or whatever. And then the other thing I'm going to do too, once we get this done, all the sponsor logos are going to go down here in vinyl, and then up here we're going to make this thing a rolling billboard. So I want to put Burndown, and I'll have to size it on the plotter. So I'm thinking it'll say it like from here kind of deal to like into kind of the window, so you'd read it burn, and then kind of the end of it would be kind of into the window is what I'm thinking, because just putting it here would be odd. So we're gonna have to try to make it big so it runs across. And then I think, honestly, this is the important side, because when you're driving, I should be in the slow lane. So everybody's gonna see this, and then they'll see the back. And eventually, I'd really like to get a Uncle Gus spare tire cover. I'd like to have one printed with the big old chicken right here. So that would be pretty slick. But yeah, that is the tentative plan. But for today, I figured I'd walk you guys through that and let you know what my brain's thinking. For today though, I'm just gonna sand on bumpers. So we'll scoot the Malibu over. I gotta go get oil and stuff. We'll scoot that over, drain it. It could just live out here for a while. And then this paint, I worked on this side for a bit, and it is like thick, man. This stuff didn't want to budge. I was DAing with like 80, so maybe we'll see if I got a little more aggressive grip. And I'm not trying to strip it down to bare metal. I just want a decent base, because again, this isn't a showstopper. And you guys will see, we'll just squirt a little white paint. Ooh, we got some dust or something. We'll squirt a little white paint, it'll look like $1 million. So other than that, I'm still waiting for the GMC. This will go home this afternoon, which is a little bit of a conundrum. So I'm gonna work on that over there and make dust and dirt, because this thing needs to stay nice. So that's what we'll do. Let me go get some oil and stuff. We'll drain the oil out of this. We'll put this here, and it can live here till the afternoon. So when I move it over, it can cool off, and then we'll drain the oil. And then we'll spend the rest of the day sanding. Yay! So it looks like it's a time-lapse video, but I figured I'd keep you guys involved, let you know what I'm starting with, and then you'll see the finished product when she's done. But a little bit of paint is gonna go such a long way on the Bago. It's not even funny. I'm finally excited to get to this part too. Alright, we'll give the compressor a little bit of a break. You can see the bumper is kind of getting stripped. And the reason for that is this paint is so thick. You can see how thick it is in here? Sorry for the compressor in the background. But it's almost like a poly prime underneath. Like you can see the different color. And if it was just regular paint, it would sand. I've got an 80 grit DA here. This would knock it off fast, but it's just not playing nice, and then it was hard to get down to the base. So this is your best friend when you're stripping stuff. It's a Arlock Scotch Brite, the purple. It's aggressive but not too bad, and it leaves a little tooth in it. So you can come back and smooth this out. I'll come back and smooth it out with like a DA, probably 80 grit, maybe 150, and then we'll just run paint over the top, because we're just doing single stage. And again, I don't care if the scratches bleed through, because it is what it is. And I figured we'd strip it and make the front bumper decent, because this is where everybody's gonna come and see and check it out. So the back one, I believe we're in the same boat. So let me just try to get through this front bumper and not try to kill myself today. But yeah, man, I don't know if it was house paint or what. So this one looks a little more forgiving. This looks like it'll fall off, which is good. So it doesn't look like they coated this one with whatever they put on the front one. So I bet this one will zip down nice. You know, still gonna take some effort, but yeah. So let me keep after it. Ta-da! All right, there is our finished product for the most part. We'll clean it up a little bit more, but we'll just throw down some primer, throw down some single stage. Life will be good. And the hilarious part is this bumper is pretty dang straight, dude. For as old as this thing is and as big as it is, but this one's an easy one to keep track of, because you literally sit right there. So you're like, hey, my bumper's right out front. It's the back one that got pushed in and got some action. But that is it for today's video. I will fill you in though. I took a break from doing this because this is just a long process. And I drove the Malibu around a bit. I didn't film any of it. I just wanted to keep an eye on things, and I did like a dead log. So the thing I noticed with the oil pressure in there is now the oil pressure is like 1-to-1 with the RPM. The RPM dips at all, the oil pressure dips. The RPM goes up, it jumps up. So like the way the tune is set up when you're going and like say you get on and then you go to idle, like you come to a complete stop, the RPM will dip a little bit, and then the oil pressure just goes right with it. So at first I was like, oh, but then I realized, I'm like, man, that thing is like, it seems tight, if that makes sense, because it is right there. It's manual, so your oil pump is manual, so it's going to coincide with RPM. But before, the oil pressure kind of stayed constant, the RPM could fluctuate, but now everything is really tight, if that makes sense. So if you change the RPM at all, the oil pressure goes right with it wherever it goes. So we did have enough. I got it up to like $5,000, just kind of cruising a little bit, and it made, what did it make? 60 psi, I think, at like $5,000. So as long as it can kind of continue that trend, even if it falls off, as long as it gets to somewhere around 70, at 7,000, this thing will be fine. And then at idle, we got it hot. We were about 35 pounds. Unless the idle dipped way down, and then it would dip down, but it's still, I don't ever think it really saw under 30. So I think we're calling that a win. We have started the process to take the ugly out of this. Today's Sunday, kind of want to relax, so we're not going to get hit it too hard. I'm going to start editing videos again, getting ready before the week. And then as the week progresses, we still have more stuff to do. So look forward to it. If you guys have any questions on any of this stuff, I'm fairly proficient in it. I know there's some other body guys because people have chimed in on my stuff before, but I feel like all in all, I could probably answer majority of the questions you guys might throw at me. So hit me with any bodywork questions, paint questions, stuff like that. You guys know what to do. Like, subscribe, share. Till next time, I'm out.